I cringe when I hear people using the expression implement lean accounting. It really is not something that you implement so much as you evolve to and begin to move towards. The problem with implementation and what that word means to people is the same with lean accounting as it is with lean. When people say we're going to implement lean, well, not really. It takes a long time. Lean accounting, just like lean manufacturing, is driven towards these idealistic goals of perfection that you'll likely never reach. But you start down that path towards getting cleaner and clearer and more helpful accounting information, just the same way you start down the path to creating ideal value for customers. And you start whittling away at it one step at a time. When we talk about lean accounting and structuring things along value streams and talk about all of the problems that come up with traditional allocations and assignments and accruals, the fact is that you probably will never get to the point where you have financial statements that have no allocations. But all we're trying to do is look at those financial statements and say, today they're in silos, and 60% of the costs might be allocated. We're going to put together reports and start to structure things and start to align the organization along value streams, and we're going to improve that to only 40% allocations. And we're going to get to work looking at those areas that are shared and those areas that are overlapped and spill into two value streams or spill across the entire factory. And we're going to figure out ways every year, every month, getting a little better, a little sharper, a little clearer, and maybe next year will only be 35% allocation, and the year after that down to 30%. We're probably never going to get to the point that big heat treat machine that you have, or that big automated paint process isn't allocated and shared. May well be, but that's okay. The fact that we can't see our path clearly to perfection doesn't mean we shouldn't start down the path and getting better and better all the time. People ask, does this mean we're going to have two sets of books? Well, not really. It's all spinning off of the same general ledger. It's all coming from the same transactions. We're just going to rack them up a little bit differently. The other reality is that most people who are doing lean accounting are doing it in Excel or in Access or in something quick and dirty that they can play with and they can change real quickly, and that's very flexible as they start down this path and they begin to get a different and a clearer look at how the money really flows through the organization. It doesn't need to be a traumatic all or none decision. It needs to be a decision to start to commit to looking at things in a different way and starting to knock down all the problems one at a time and evolving over time to an ideal, clear picture of how the expenses and the revenues align with customers and processes. No one has ever had it 100% perfect right out of the gate. And don't let that intimidate you or stop you. There's really no reason from an accounting standpoint why you can't be doing lean accounting types of statements by this time next week. Your challenge is not going to be the math, and it's not going to be the accounting. That's always pretty straightforward. A couple of smart people in a room can sort all of that out and then start knocking down those problems. The problem is always cultural. The problem is always senior management and accounting getting used to looking at things in a different manner and gaining the confidence that these insights and the management lessons it's teaching are valid and helpful. That's usually the obstacle. Not the math, not the accounting, and not the computer. Good luck. Thank you for listening. If you would like to learn more or if we can be of any help, you can visit us at www.bill-waddell.com. Follow me on Twitter at mfgwaddell, or you can find us on Facebook.